Hey guys, previously posted a review of these Schwalbe Super Moto X tyres and had a few complaints that it wasn't detailed enough and didn't go into enough depth about the various aspects of the tyres. So here you go, what a treat. I'm going to blather on for probably about 10 minutes about this pair of tyres. So they've got a reflective strip on the side, which you can peel off, I think, if you want, and they're kind of quite a nice looking tyre. They've got a kind of very sort of pale printed branding on the side, as well as the kind of embossed standard rubber, information stuff like PSI or the ETRO sizings. And they're a kind of low profile knob, which doesn't the actual tread pattern is quite low profile. It doesn't flex too much if you're cycling it around on tarmac. It doesn't squirm very much, which I'm quite keen on, yet you've got a bit of texture there if you want to do a bit of light off-roading. The way I would say, if you're going to use these in a sort of sporty, racy kind of situation, which I'm definitely not, they'd probably be well suited to a kind of hard pack fine gravel, which you might find in a trail centre, or maybe for doing dirt jumps or something in dry conditions, where you probably benefit from a lower rolling resistance. So these come with a green guard puncture protection system, which is like a kind of 3mm squidgy rubber layer, which fits in between the inner tube and the tyre outer. It's quite a good system. It maybe increases the rolling resistance a bit more because the tyre is slightly squishier than maybe it would be, but overall quite happy with it. Here they are compared, so you get an idea of width, with some Big Apple tyres. These are the 26 inch by 2.35 inch Big Apples against the 26 inch by 2.4 inch Schwalbe Moto X's, which are very comparable in size. To be honest with you, I think probably they just called them 2.4 inch so they match their measurement system for trendy kind of new tyre sizes such as 650B and 29 inch. So if you're running some Big Apples, then you should be able to run the Schwalbe Moto X's in the 2.4 inch, no problem. So they've got this weird sort of fine texturing over the surface, which I was kind of thinking I could do without, but you don't really notice it too much. I think the main thing I like about these tyres, as well as the fact they're quite tough, which is what I was after, is that the rubber compound used is really nice. It doesn't squirm at all when you're on the road, on the tarmac, and as you would imagine, it grips quite well off-road, providing it's not too muddy. The tread also carries right the way up the side of the sidewall of the tyre, so that's quite nice as well if you're into stunts and stuff, I should imagine, which I'm not. So here you go. Here it is mounted on a Mavic EX325 rim. As you can see, I'm running a Alpine hub gear on the rear wheel, and the tyres went on pretty well actually. I've used some Smart Guard tyres in the past, which have got a thicker rubber layer in them, and they're quite tricky to mount on a wide rim. But these ones went on pretty well, and no problem. I think I still did have to use tyre levers, so they're quite a tight fit, but not too bad. So what's up next? We've got some more pictures coming up of the tread pattern. Now, I mentioned earlier these were green guard. And nearly all of these Schwalbe Super Moto X tyres do come in green guard, but if you're buying it in a 650B in 2.8 inch, then you've got the option of race guard, which is actually, I think, is pretty good, particularly against thorns, and I'd probably rate it more highly than green guard. So here we've got a bit of a comparison coming up between the Big Apple tyres, which I was taking off at the time, and how much clearance you get. Really trying to demonstrate how similar they are in width, despite being labelled slightly differently. So here we've got the clearance between the fork stanchion and the edge, and I've wedged the screwdriver in there to kind of try and demonstrate the width for you. So we'll just wait for this photo to flip over to the next one now, which shows the Super Moto X clearance against the fork in the same sort of situation. So you can see not too much difference really. I would say the upright, if you were to look at a cross section of the tyre, the kind of vertical profile of it is slightly more oval than the Big Apple, and I think maybe that's because the green guard layer kind of shapes the tyre somewhat, but that's just a guess really. So as well as having the green guard protection system, these also have a snake skin sidewall, which is kind of an extra tough sidewall to prevent it getting ripped and things by thorns. So pretty good tyre for what I use it for really, which is just cruising around country lanes, often quite muddy, lots of thorns at particular times of years when they're trimming the hedges, and they are mounted on my rather peculiar steed. And yeah, I'll probably go for them if you want to do some hard pack trail riding, and they make a pretty good commuter utility tyre as well. So anyway, I hope that's answered all your questions. I can answer any more that you have, just post in the